it's hard to believe that it's only a few months since this happened. And this is, of course, the knighting of the Mayor of London, who turned out to be well, apparently, according to him, the hardest working between His Majesty and himself. In fact, he went on camera to say that, well, this is exactly what they talked about. And they both agreed that they were the hardest working individuals. Very nice little take-to-take, isn't it? But of course, a few months down the line, the hardest working mayor ever, apparently, in London was so hard working, he was remiss. And now many people are suggesting this should happen. As ever, let me explain. Morning, nice to see you. Thank you so much for your time today, chums, and welcome one and all, as I often say. If you are in London or you're coming to London, do let me know in the comments below. If you haven't been for a while, what's your perception of it now? You know, when I was walking through, sorry, we'll have a wave, nice to see you. When I was walking through Leicester Square recently, a couple of days ago now, I couldn't believe how low it'd gone down. It just looked dirty, depressed, lots of things were boarded up, lots of potential allegedly going on building-wise and stuff, but you didn't see that much of it. And, you know, obviously when you live anywhere, you know what it's like. You don't necessarily see it. You can see it, for instance, on the likes of Oxford Street. It just looks like a third world country. There are no luxury shops there. It's vaping shops, American candy stores. And I love the way they're now trying to hype up the fact that the Christmas lights have gone up. Not one mention, of course, of the word Christmas, in case we offend people, and we know who's going to be offended by that, right? So consequently, these few lights that they've strung up, which you could find better in any regional town, well, what we're supposed to be happy about? I mean, this is the problem. This is the problem now truly engulfing the Mayor of London, because, as I said at the start of the video, he pointed out when he got the knighthood from His Majesty the King, well, you know, they're both really hard workers and they got on well on that level, and etc, etc. It turns out, of course, that Sadiq Khan, so hard working, he was clueless as to the already, you know, put down 9,000 cases that the Metropolitan Police miraculously found all in London regarding the grooming gangs, the rape gangs, that he was quizzed on many different occasions in City Hall, where they get an answer to, you know, a chance to ask the mayor a question. It's a complete waste of time, because he clearly just fudges the issue, if you want to be kind, or he's just really ignorant. You'll notice he never refers or looks directly or uses the female name. Very, very derogatory if you look at the body language and everything that he's doing when he's in there. Clearly can't abide to be questioned. And that's the problem. I've interviewed him, and it's one of those things, you ask a question and it's not agreed, the team seep in and basically cut the interview short. He can't think for himself unless it's been rehearsed. Hence the reason he didn't want to go down this particular route. Now, though, more pressure is being piled on to His Majesty the King, because clearly, you know, this is a man who's supposedly running one of the greatest cities in the world that can't remember or didn't know about what this particular individual was asking about. And now there are rumblings of a petition and for the knighthood to be stripped. Now, I don't know about you, that's not for me to say. You know, we can all have our own personal feelings. I would love to know what you think to this, because as you can imagine, over on the other side of it, with his own family, His Majesty the King, he's having the battle of, you know, taking titles away and all sorts of stuff. Now, the bottom line is, you look at these crimes, and that's what they are, terrible crimes against very young, innocent victims. And as these stories emerge, and I've been lucky enough to see some of the inner side of the stuff that's been, for non-to-word, covered up, how should this person be celebrated, apparently, and having full control over the City of London across all angles, you know, whether it be the transport, the crime, the Metropolitan Police? How did he not know this? And many now are suggesting, quite frankly, he should be put in front of a committee and asked exactly what he knew, when he knew, and who delivered it to him. As for the knighthood, as I say, that is not going away. And I would suggest that this is one of the most controversial, possibly outside Sir Tony Blair, that's come to light of late. And many people simply want Khan dis-knighted. What do you think, though, truly? Neil Sean, Kensington, London.